Hi, I'm Sophie.
And I'm Soph.
And today we're talking about controlling panic attacks.
Am I? I don't know yet.
So panic attacks can feel really overwhelming, but there are ways to control them.
Yeah.
How would you describe a panic attack? How does that feel?
Well, obviously it's different for everyone, but for me personally, and also from what I know from other people as well, you might start shaking, sweating. I would always feel really sick and I would start getting really, really hot and just feel my heart beating faster and faster.
So what sort of things can bring on a panic attack?
Situations where you might be feeling really nervous or stressed and you might have had a build-up of stress and then suddenly it will cause a panic attack. If you're in a situation where you don't feel comfortable and you're scared that something might go wrong or something bad might happen, just in general situations where you're feeling scared and just not comfortable, I guess.
So lots of different things.
Yeah, there's lots of different things.
Sometimes you can think yourself into a panic attack, but of course that also means you can think yourself out of one. What are some ways that you would suggest doing that, controlling a panic attack?
Well, some things that I found really helped is to try and focus on your breathing. If I was in a situation where I had maybe some friends around or people that I was familiar with, I would get them to try and help me just slow down my breathing and take in deep breaths through my nose, and just that kind of slows everything down and slows down your heart rate because you can breathe quite fast when you're having a panic attack. And also I like to take myself out of the situation that I'm in and go somewhere where I'm feeling more safe, maybe somewhere that's a bit quieter of an environment, just somewhere where you can just have a bit more time to yourself. Maybe ask somebody if you can have a sip of water. I found that sometimes helped me as well. Also just think that it's not going to last forever, and if you've had a panic attack before, then you know that they do end, because I think in some situations people just get scared that it's going to go on forever and they're going to die or pass out, but it will end, so just try and keep thinking that in your head.
Yeah, because I guess it's also that thing that if you've had a panic attack before, sometimes just the idea of getting one again can sort of set you off. So as well as sort of thinking about different things, you could try physically sort of tensing and relaxing muscles, because I guess although a panic attack often comes from how you're thinking and feeling, it has a lot of those physical effects that are really unpleasant. Yeah. What would be your tips for things to do after having a panic attack?
To stay in a calm environment, somewhere where you're feeling relaxed, and don't push yourself to go back into whatever you were doing before. So if I had a panic attack at school, I would stay in maybe a quiet classroom and just give myself time to fully relax. Also, you could go and talk to somebody about it, talk to them about what happened and what you're feeling, and they might be able to help you.
What would be your advice for sort of longer term, how to manage panic attacks?
Talk to somebody about how you're feeling. I spoke to my parents, or if you have an adult in your life that you trust, maybe a family friend or your teacher, or even you could go to your doctor. What I did first is I spoke to my parents first, and then they went with me to the doctor. So maybe if you don't want to go straight to the doctors, then just confide in somebody that you trust. And also you could keep a diary, so write down the things that help you in the moment, in the situation. Then you can check back on the diary and, read through it and think, okay, what helped me in this moment? What can I do next time to help break down the panic attack and overcome it sooner? And hopefully that will start to get it into your head and just help you in the future, like moving forward.
Yeah, I guess that's also a way that somebody could work out what it is that's maybe triggering the panic attack.
Yeah,
so then they could avoid those situations or work out ways to deal with those situations a little bit better.
Yeah.
And I guess one of the really important things is just to remember to look after yourself. What tips would you have for that?
Do something that makes you feel more happy. I would maybe listen to music or watch one of my favourite TV shows, or if you're into sports, you could go outside and, play one of your favourite sports. Sleeping well is another one. I know that some people, if they don't have enough sleep, then it can just make things worse. So make sure that you try and get enough sleep. Even if you've got school and maybe you might have exams and you're not sleeping too great because you might be stressed or worried about the exams, just try and make sure that you get enough sleep, because I think that's a really important one.
Yeah, so a nice big nap at the weekend.
Yeah.
So sometimes people might try all these things, but they still feel like it's getting a bit too much. What would you recommend in that situation?
If you are feeling that things are getting a bit too much and you don't necessarily want to talk to somebody that you know, then you can talk to Childline and they'll be able to help you with it. Maybe if you're too nervous to go straight to the doctor, then that might be a good thing to do first, because they can help give you some advice. Obviously, talking to your doctor is really good as well, because they might be able to offer you some coping mechanisms and some form of help.
When someone's going through having panic attacks, attacks, it can feel really lonely, it can feel like they're never going to end. What would you say to somebody who's feeling like that?
When you're in a panic attack, sometimes you think, I'm never going to be able to control my breathing, this is going to go on forever, and it can be really scary. You know, they will get to a point where you'll be able to control them, and just take each day as it comes. Just go day by day, thinking, okay, I can get through the next day, and then the next day after that, instead of just thinking too far into the future.
Thanks so much for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.